Paul, well done. You've waited a bit longer than I'm sure you would have liked for this first home win back in charge of Shrewsbury Town, but you've got it now. How does it feel?
Really good, and I guess almost rolling back time, a 1-0 victory. Talked about it, well, I think you've asked me, Stuart, and fair point, in terms of clean sheets, we spoke about that, not had anywhere near as many as we would like, and I said genuinely, as at Port Vale, if it's a 2-1 victory or whatever it is, I don't mind if we're winning games, but you do like to keep clean sheets as a team, and it's been long overdue. I think Marco's made one big save just on half time, and then thankfully a header that was straight at him. Other than that, I don't think he's had much to do, albeit his distribution was very good, particularly first off when we were trying to play out, and then for ourselves some chances, not loads admittedly. Thought we played well in little spells, not for long enough in a perfect world, but the most important thing was winning the game, and could have maybe made it a little bit easier at the end with a chance, but ultimately one goal was enough today.
And that goal was provided by Dan Udohs late in the first half. Good strike again?
Yeah, I don't know if me and him got some kind of synergy going, but I said in there that I thought it was due his own goal and that he'd score today, as I said when he'd scored at Port Vale. So I wish it was that easy, and I'd tell him every game and he'd be on the score sheet. But a great finish. He's good at that. He only needs half a yard, and we did get the ball into him well at times throughout the game, which is something that we discussed and highlighted. But when it's in and around the box, he's got that licence. If he gets a little bit of movement from in front of him, but he's got the ability to shift the ball as he did, and it was a really smart finish. I'm a bit sort of annoyed in one sense because I keep seeing goals, and maybe it's my eyes, but I wasn't quite sure it had gone in again. So I'm kind of waiting to celebrate, but thankfully, it did.
Second half, Carlisle had more of the ball, didn't they? And pushed forward as they had to, chasing the game. But happy with the way your team saw the game out?
In some ways, yeah. As I said, I don't think they caused us too many or made Marco work too much. We had long throws in the box, some free kicks and things like that. Scored a lot of goals from set plays, and they have been scoring goals recently. So to keep them out was a positive. I would like us to try and get on the ball a little bit more. Like I said, I think we did well in little bits, but not where we could really take the sting out of the game. And we needed that bit more energy to try and press them a little bit higher to maybe stop them having as much possession as they did. But again, didn't in truth really hurt us. So yeah, partly pleased and as always room for improvement.
Two changes from Tuesday night. One, of course, enforced with the outcome of the appeal for Jordan Shipley. You went for Tom Flanagan and Aidan O'Brien, two experienced players. Happy with how they did coming into the 11?
Yep. I think could tell with both to a degree that they hadn't played for a little while. I think Flanagan was needing a gel, and Aid eventually got a bit of cramp and things, but they both put a shift in. Particularly. Nothing against Tom, but Aidan, as in the work that you have to do in that position more up and down the pitch. I think Flano had one where he'd gone forward and I was watching his sort of recovery run and like, come on, get back in. But he did great, for on the ball at times, because often a centre-half is the man that ends up the spare man, and the person on the ball, and he his composure helped draw maybe Carlisle out. I think that certainly led to Tamisha's chance, a ball in. I think it was into Ryan maybe, and then it through to Tamisha. Unfortunately on his left foot and hit the keeper. Should have just made it a more pleasant last couple of minutes. But both can be pleased going back to those two with the games today.
And how nice to get Jack Price involved straight away as well, and coming on to make his debut for his hometown club as well.
Yeah, kind of always part of the plan, but maybe not in the perfect circumstances. Albeit we were in front of the game, so that's nice, but he's not a defensive substitution certainly, but what he can potentially give you is more control with the ball, and I think he got involved a couple of times where we just kept it for a few more passes. Not particularly, you don't always have to go somewhere with the ball, Like we're down this left-hand side, we had a good bit of play with, I think it was Mal, Bales and Jack and maybe Aidan. And it just, we needed to keep the ball at times, and I think he helped do that, kept his position in the pitch. And it's a great sort of little start, and great that we got the victory on the back of his debut as well.
Is Jack Hinchy okay, by the way? He was one of the players not involved in the 18 today. He's been involved pretty much since you brought him in the matchday squad. Yeah,
no, he's fine. I just felt today it was in the main a day for a bit more experience overall. That's kind of was the reason. And I think, it's not easy when you come in from 21's football, and he's played quite a lot of minutes, as we've said, and he'll be back involved with us. I'm sure of that. But today, I'm sure he's disappointed, but at the same time, knowing the type of lad that he is, he'll be pleased that we got the result.
And you widened the gap between yourselves and the bottom four. That must be pleasing.
Yeah, so we have the victory. We kind of enjoy that. I don't think it was a day for too many words after the game. We haven't got a game for a while now. It's not very often you get that chance just to enjoy the victory. Let the lads enjoy it. And then I'm looking at or asking Liam for results, the analyst, and then thankfully, like I said, quite a few of them have gone our way. There's still work to do. It's not over. Not stood here thinking that's it. We've got a nice cushion, but we also know some of the fixtures that we've got coming up. Now, we want to be competitive and we want to take something from them, but there's no getting away that some of those away games where we perhaps picked up more points away from home, but they look very difficult. So that 3 points today was sort of very welcome for us all.